Welcome to another Monday Blitz. Glad you're taking a few moments to listen to this devotional, and I pray that it causes you to turn to your Bibles and read them and focus on God a little bit today. We're looking at 1 Samuel chapter 26, and it's the continuation of the story of the struggle between David and Saul. And as I read that struggle, it makes me think of my own life, the struggles that I go through, the trials, the difficulty of following God and yet still living in a world full of sin and trying to navigate and make sure I'm staying on the path following God. It sounds so simple. Jesus says, just follow me. And yet it's so hard sometimes to realize how intense and deep that statement, follow me, really is. There is David in 1 Samuel 20:16, hiding in the wilderness. Saul chases after him. Saul makes camp. David is given the opportunity to walk to the middle of that camp, walk right up to a sleeping king, could have killed him right there and declared himself king, and yet David walks away from it. It is a powerful statement of recognizing one's calling and what is God actually inviting us to do, instead of just taking always perhaps what we think or would want God to be telling us to do. I mean, this isn't the first time David has had an opportunity to eliminate the problem. Saul has been a problem for David for so long, and David has prayed that Saul is taken out of his leadership role. David has promised that he will help God do that if needed. And yet, when it comes down to it, David again recognizes his calling is not to remove Saul. Saul was God's anointed. While Saul made some really poor choices, it was not David's responsibility. Makes me wonder how many of the things in my life that I stress over and worry over, that I struggle with, that I wrestle with, that I even have the opportunity to think that I should fix, are really not my calling. It isn't what God has asked me to do, and if I get distracted by those, I can miss following God's plan for my life. So David walks away from an easy opportunity to kill Saul. He refocuses his mindset on following God. And I hope that I can do the same in my life. In those times where it seems like the distraction seems like it's a good thing, but it's still a distraction from God's plan. You and I, we can walk away from those. We can walk away from those distractions and keep following God. It might seem like we're helping God out, but God really doesn't need our help. He's God, and then we just keep choosing to follow him and seeking to know what his will is for our lives. We, like David, will go through some difficult times, but we will continue to be able to, at night, know that we are following God's plan. So I invite you, stay connected with God, keep following his plan for your life. Until next time.